Part 1: The Wreckage of Destiny. I never thought I'd be spending my Saturday night hurtling through the abyss of space at speeds that made light feel like a sluggish snail. But there I was, navigating the rust bucket known as the Destiny's Child, a ship that, despite its ironic optimism, was anything but destined for greatness. The vessel was barely holding itself together, creaking like an ancient mariner's ghost story. At the helm, my hands felt the vibrations of the struggling engines beneath me, as if it were my own heart laboring under some cosmic burden. Behind me, the holographic display flickered with sporadic bursts of static, much like the life of my co-pilot Jax. He was a wiry fellow with a penchant for colorful insults directed at both ship and universe when things went south, which was often. "Cap, if this heap gets any slower, we'll be caught by our own past," he sneered, leaning back in his seat with an air of defiant resignation. "Thanks for the vote of confidence," I replied dryly, adjusting the trajectory towards the beacon of our next target, an orbital station lost to the annals of spacefaring history and cloaked in mystery. Baldur's Gate. Said to possess technology that defied the laws of physics, it was where our fate was bound, for better or worse. "Just saying, Lyle," Jax continued with a smirk, "if we don't get a move on, we'll be signing autographs in a swarm of space gunk." I ignored his jest, focusing instead on the approaching anomaly. Baldur's Gate was rumored to contain a treasure trove of forgotten tech, left behind by an ancient civilization whose records were as elusive as the station's precise location. The scanners pinged, revealing a massive structure ahead, its silhouette emerging against the backdrop of a distant nebula glowing like the embers of a dying fire. The station hung in space like a relic of a bygone era, its architecture unlike anything I'd seen before. Towers spiraled upwards, interwoven with bridges that defied gravity's grasp, while luminescent panels pulsed with a dim, mysterious energy. The place looked like the dreams of a cosmic architect whose grasp on reality was as tenuous as the station's orbit. "Let's bring her in," I declared, guiding the ship towards one of the docking bays that still seemed operational, if only barely. As we touched down with a jolt that rattled the loose panels of the Destiny's Child, I couldn't help but feel a shiver of anticipation. This place held secrets, the kind that could unravel the very fabric of understanding. Jax and I suited up, preparing to board the station. The airlock door hissed open, revealing a narrow corridor washed in an eerie blue light that seemed to swallow sound. We stepped inside, our footsteps echoing softly. The silence was oppressive, the air heavy with the scent of disuse and mystery. Our exploration was abruptly halted when we stumbled upon something decidedly unexpected, a creature unlike anything in the known galaxy. It was suspended in a chamber, its translucent form shimmering with iridescent colors. Tendrils extended from its core, twitching as it dreamt. Its presence was unsettling, a reminder of the universe's vastness and our own insignificance. Jax nudged me, his voice a whisper of incredulity. "What the hell do you think that is, Lyle?" "An enigma wrapped in a riddle," I muttered, fascinated by the creature's hypnotic beauty. "A guardian, perhaps, or maybe a relic of the builders." But before we could speculate further, our comms crackled to life with a voice that wasn't our own. It was calm, yet carried an authority that was both comforting and unsettling. "Visitors, you are not alone." Jax and I shared a glance, our hands instinctively reaching for our sidearms. "Identify yourself," I demanded, my voice steady despite the adrenaline surging through my veins. "I am the station's caretaker," the voice replied, reverberating through the corridors. "You seek the secrets of Baldur's Gate, but be warned, the cost of knowledge is ever steep." "Wouldn't have it any other way," Jax muttered under his breath, his fingers tapping nervously on his holster. Trust me, the voice continued with an inflection that felt almost amused. You'll find truths here that will test the bounds of your reality. With an uneasy alliance formed with the disembodied voice, we pressed onward, navigating through dimly lit hallways that twisted into complex patterns, often doubling back on themselves like the dreams of a mad cartographer. As we delved deeper, Jax broke the tension with his usual brand of humor. I knew I should have stayed on Earth. At least there, getting lost meant ending up in the wrong bar, not a dimensional riddle. A sudden rumble shook the station, throwing us against the walls. Dust trickled from the ceiling and the lights flickered ominously. "What's happening?" Jax shouted above the growing cacophony. "Intruders from your past have arrived," the caretaker's voice echoed with an urgency that was impossible to ignore. "A faction unknown to you, but tied by fate." We took off in a sprint, guided by the caretaker's directions, the station's layout unfolding before us like a living, breathing entity. My heart pounded in my chest, every instinct screaming that we were racing against time. As we turned a corner, the corridor opened into a massive chamber filled with ancient consoles and holographic displays. My eyes widened at the sight of the technology that could reshape entire worlds. But before we could fully grasp the magnitude of what lay before us, the chamber doors slammed shut behind us with a resounding thud. We were trapped. The caretaker's voice, now tinged with urgency, offered one last piece of advice before the comms went dead. Trust only what your senses can perceive. The truth lies not in what you see, but in what remains hidden. As the echoes faded, Jax and I stood amidst the towering monoliths of forgotten technology, the weight of our quest settling upon us like the dark void outside. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were about to uncover something that would forever change the course of our lives, and possibly the fabric of reality itself. Part 2: Echoes of the Void. The chamber thrummed with an electric heartbeat, a symphony of ancient power reverberating through my bones. Jax and I exchanged a look, both aware that whatever we did next could unravel the tangled threads of our fate, or bind them more tightly than ever before. I approached one of the consoles, its surface marred by centuries of neglect. With a tentative touch, I activated it. Light pulsed across the panel, forming symbols and patterns that danced like starlight on water. They were unlike any language I'd ever seen, yet there was an uncanny familiarity to them, as though they whispered secrets just beyond my reach. Jax hovered beside me, his eyes wide with a mix of awe and apprehension. "Can you make sense of any of this, Lyle?" "I wish I could say I did," I replied, my mind racing to decode the enigmatic script. "But there's something here. I can feel it." Just as the tension mounted, a voice echoed through the chamber, distinct from the caretaker's yet equally enigmatic. It was a voice that carried the weight of countless eons, woven with the threads of countless stories untold. "Seekers, you stand at the crossroads of destiny." The sudden presence jolted us both. I spun around, scanning the room, but we were alone. The voice seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, reverberating through the air with a resonance that compelled attention. "Who are you?" I demanded, trying to maintain a semblance of authority despite the unease prickling down my spine. "I am the Echo," the voice replied with a gentle finality, "the soul of this station and the keeper of its truths." Jax let out a low whistle. "We've got ourselves a regular interstellar oracle here." "To progress," the Echo continued, ignoring Jax's quip, "you must prove your worth, demonstrate your understanding of what lies beyond the veil." I hesitated, my thoughts swirling with uncertainty, but there was no turning back now. I took a deep breath and focused on the console, the symbols shifting and coalescing into a coherent image, a vast, cosmic landscape its beauty both haunting and profound. "Is it a map?" Jax ventured, peering over my shoulder. "Not just any map," I breathed, realizing the enormity of what we were seeing. "It's a map of potentiality, possibilities branching like tendrils of light across the fabric of the universe." As the image unfolded, I felt a strange connection to it, as if some ancient part of me resonated with its message. It was a map not just of places, but of choices, each path leading to a different version of the future. The echo's presence seemed to guide my thoughts, urging me to select a path, to choose a destiny. But before I could act, the chamber shuddered violently, light panels bursting in showers of sparks. The console flickered, the image dissolving into chaos. Jax and I stumbled, struggling to maintain our footing. "What now?" he shouted above the cacophony, his voice tinged with desperation. "Whatever's coming, we have to face it," I replied, feeling the pressure of the unknown bearing down upon us like a storm. A section of the chamber wall slid open, revealing a dark passageway that sang with an eerie melody, as if beckoning us toward an unseen end. Without a word, we moved forward, driven by an urgency that defied explanation. Every instinct screaming that time was slipping through our fingers. We emerged into a cavernous hall, its walls adorned with colossal carvings depicting scenes of incomprehensible grandeur and despair. It was a history chiseled by alien hands, a testament to civilizations lost beyond the veil of time. Yet the hall was not empty. Figures stirred in the shadows, their forms twisting in ways that defied logic. They were not human, nor were they like the creature we had seen before. These aliens were amorphous, their bodies a cascade of shifting hues that shimmered with an internal luminescence. Jax and I tensed, sidearms drawn as the figures approached, but to my surprise they did not attack. Instead, they halted, observing us with eyes that seemed to hold the weight of ages. "You are the Seekers," one of them spoke, its voice a soft chorus of echoes. "We are the Shathari, custodians of the Echo's legacy." I lowered my weapon, sensing no immediate threat. "We came seeking knowledge, answers to mysteries we barely comprehend." "And those answers will come," the Shathari intoned, its form flickering like a candle's flame. "But first there is a trial, a test of resolve and understanding." Jax groaned, muzzle of his blaster still trained on the Shathari. "Tests, trials, and now a riddle. Why does it never just involve a signpost with exit here?" "It's called adventure, Jax," I countered with a small, wry smile, though my heart was pounding with the weight of what was to come. Reality shifted, the hall dissolving around us, replaced by an expanse of swirling stars and kaleidoscopic nebulae. We stood on the precipice of an endless cosmos, the void stretching out before us with a breathtaking, terrifying majesty. "The trial is of the mind and spirit, not of the body," the Shathari explained, their voices a harmonious blend of light. "Confront your fears, embrace your truths." As the void began to twist and expand, I felt my consciousness unraveling, pulled into a vortex of visions. Memories, fears, and hopes intertwined in a tapestry of emotion and revelation. I saw Earth as it was, and as it could be. I saw my own life, my choices, and their consequences, each branch forming a path on the cosmic map. Then the images faded, leaving me with a profound sense of understanding, a clarity that transcended mere knowledge. Jack stood beside me, his expression one of bewildered awe, as though he, too, had glimpsed something beyond comprehension. When we returned to the tangible world, the Shathari awaited, their forms radiating a gentle luminescence. "You have faced the trial," they declared, their voices carrying a note of respect, "and so you shall proceed." A door opened before us, revealing a corridor bathed in golden light. As we stepped forward, I felt the weight of destiny settle upon my shoulders. Whatever lay ahead, I knew it would challenge everything I believed, test every bond I had forged. With a final glance at the Shathari, Jax and I marched onward, the echoes of our footsteps resonating through the corridors of Baldur's Gate, a journey into the heart of the unknown only just beginning. Part 3: The Confluence of Shadows. Emerging from the golden-hued corridor, Jax and I found ourselves in an atrium that seemed to defy the very laws of physics. The ceiling stretched indefinitely, the walls adorned with tapestries of light that rippled and flowed as though caught in an eternal dance. It was a nexus, a confluence where time and space converged into something both tangible and ephemeral. "Remind me to never complain about reality being boring again," Jax quipped, his eyes scanning the room with a mixture of wonder and skepticism. I couldn't help but chuckle, though the gravity of the moment quickly reasserted itself. Here, in this sacred intersection, lay the answers we sought, and perhaps more questions than we dared to imagine. Our journey deeper into the station had brought us to the heart of Baldur's Gate, where the air was charged with an ancient energy, every breath tinged with the metallic taste of possibility. The echo remained our unseen guide, its presence a subtle hum at the edge of perception. As we ventured further, the path curved into an amphitheater-like chamber, its center occupied by a vast, crystalline structure that pulsed with a heartbeat of its own. It was as if the universe itself had condensed into this singular point, each facet reflecting a different facet of existence. I approached the crystal with reverence, a sense of destiny pulling at the core of my being. It was here that we would uncover the ultimate truth, a revelation that could reshape the boundaries of the known cosmos. Jax joined me, his expression one of cautious curiosity. "So, what's the plan, fearless leader? We just touch it and hope for the best." "Something like that," I replied, reaching out with a hand that trembled not with fear but with anticipation. The crystal was cool to the touch, its surface smooth as glass yet alive with an inner fire. Upon contact, the world around us fell away, and my consciousness plunged into an abyss of light and sound. I was adrift in a sea of stars, each one a memory, an echo of the universe's grand design. I felt connected to everything and nothing, an infinite loop of past, present, and future. In this boundless realm, the echo spoke once more, its voice resonating with the harmonies of creation. "Here lies the genesis of knowledge, the cradle of all that is and will be. Embrace it, and your path shall be illuminated." Through the haze of cosmic light, I glimpsed a series of images, alien worlds, civilizations flourishing and falling, and at the heart of it all, a single truth that transcended all others: connection. We were all intertwined, threads in the great tapestry of existence, bound by fate and choice. But then a shadow crept over the vision, dark tendrils extending through the cosmos, threatening to unravel that delicate weave. It was a force of entropy, a harbinger of chaos that sought to consume and destroy. Suddenly I was torn from the vision, the crystal's glow dimming to a dull throb. Jax was at my side, his face pale with concern. "Lyle, what happened?" I struggled to articulate the enormity of what I had experienced, the revelation that threatened to shatter all I had known. "There's something out there, Jax, something ancient and destructive." Before I could elaborate, the chamber shuddered violently, as if responding to the dark presence I had sensed. The crystal's light flickered, and a low rumble echoed through the room, like the growl of some unseen beast. The Shathari appeared, their forms ethereal yet resolute. "The shadow you glimpsed is the Voidbreaker, a force that seeks to sever the bonds of creation. It has sensed your presence." Jax tensed, reaching for his sidearm. "Great, Just what we need, a cosmic entity with a grudge. I nodded, the weight of responsibility settling heavily on my shoulders. We have to stop it, whatever it takes. We can't let it destroy everything. You are the chosen, the Shathari intoned, their voices a chorus of resolve. You hold the key to the future, but the path is fraught with peril. As they spoke, the station's lights dimmed, casting elongated shadows that danced ominously across the walls. The air crackled with tension, the pulse of the crystal growing erratic, as if mirroring the turbulence within my own heart. With a steely determination, I turned to Jax, my voice steady despite the turmoil within. We need to find the source of the void breaker, understand its nature. The crystal might have given us the way forward. Lead on, Lyle, Jax replied, his trust in me a comforting anchor in the storm. But let's make sure it's us doing the breaking this time. Together, we followed the Shathari's guidance, navigating through corridors that spiraled like the arms of a galaxy. Each step brought us closer to a confrontation that would determine the fate of all we held dear. The journey led us to a chamber filled with technology beyond comprehension, machines that hummed with an energy that defied understanding. Here, the Voidbreaker's presence was palpable, a suffocating pressure that threatened to crush all hope. Yet amidst the chaos, I felt a spark ignite within me, a connection forged in the fires of revelation. The knowledge I had gained, the truths I had glimpsed, coalesced into a singular purpose. Let's end this, I declared, my voice echoing with resolve. As we prepared to face the darkness, I knew that we were standing on the precipice of a new era. The choices we made here would ripple through time, shaping the destiny of countless lives. In that moment, as we marched into the unknown, I realized that this was not just a battle against an ancient force, but a journey of discovery, a journey to understand the power of connection, of unity, and of hope. And in that understanding, I found strength. Together with Jax, we would face whatever lay ahead, resolute in our mission to protect the fragile beauty of the cosmos. Part 4: Mindscape of the Void. The chamber buzzed with a restless energy, the hum of the ancient machines echoing our own anticipation. Jax and I stood at the threshold of a confrontation that seemed both inevitable and insurmountable, guided by the Shathari's enigmatic presence. The Voidbreaker's shadow loomed large, a palpable force that seemed to blur the edges of reality itself. "Just another day at the office," Jax murmured, his attempt at levity a thin veneer over the tension in his voice. His hand lingered near his sidearm, ever ready though he knew bullets and blasters might be useless in the face of cosmic entropy. "Let's hope we generated enough overtime," I replied, casting a glance at the console before me, its surface a chaotic mosaic of symbols and lights. It was the heart of the station's power, its lifeblood interwoven with the mysteries we had yet to unravel. The Shathari hovered near, their forms flickering with an ethereal luminescence. "The Voidbreaker's essence is both within and without," they intoned, a harmony of light and sound. "To confront it, you must enter the mindscape." I raised an eyebrow, intrigued yet cautious. Mindscape, as in literally within our minds. "The mindscape is a realm of consciousness, a bridge between thought and reality," they explained. "Here, the Voidbreaker manifests its influence. To prevail, you must sever its connection." Jax crossed his arms, skeptical yet resigned. "Great, a fight on the mental plane. I've always wanted to conquer my inner demons." "It's not just about demons," I said, more to convince myself than him. "It's about everything we've seen, every choice we've made. We need to focus to believe." The Shathari moved closer, their presence a soothing balm against the rising tide of uncertainty. "Place your trust in the light of your own creation. Within the mindscape, you wield the power of possibility. With a nod of understanding, I closed my eyes and reached out, letting the world around me dissolve into a sea of swirling colors. The transition was seamless, and as the mindscape unfolded before us, I felt Jax's presence alongside mine, a comforting constant in an ocean of flux. The realm we entered was a kaleidoscope of thoughts and dreams, a tapestry of shifting landscapes that reflected the depths of our consciousness. Here, the boundaries between reality and illusion were as thin as the air we breathed. We stood on the edge of a vast plain, where mountains of memory met rivers of forgotten dreams. Overhead, stars twinkled like distant prayers, each one a promise of hope and change. Jack stepped forward, his form shimmering with the colors of his imagination. "Okay, Lyle, where do we start?" "Wherever the Voidbreaker has taken root," I replied, feeling the pull of a distant presence, a wound festering in the fabric of our shared psyche. The landscape began to shift, drawing us towards its source. We moved through forests of thought, each tree a testament to the life we had lived, every leaf a decision made or unmade. As we drew closer, the world around us darkened, the air growing thick with an overwhelming sense of despair. Here, the Voidbreaker had laid its claim, its tendrils entwining the very essence of our minds. A figure emerged from the shadows, its form indistinct yet menacing. It was an avatar of chaos, a manifestation of the entropy that sought to unravel all we held dear. "You dare challenge the void," it intoned, its voice an echo of every doubt and fear we'd ever known. "You're not welcome here," I shot back, summoning the light of my own will, a beacon against the encroaching darkness. "This mindscape is ours and we're taking it back." The entity recoiled, yet it was not deterred. It surged forward, a wave of darkness intent on consuming all that we were. But in this realm of thought and spirit, we were not bound by the limitations of the physical world. Together with Jax, I forged a barrier, a shield woven from the threads of our memories and dreams. It shimmered with a brilliance that pushed back against the void's assault, a testament to the resilience of our shared journey. The battle raged, an eternal struggle between light and shadow, each side vying for dominance. It was a test not just of strength, but of belief, a conviction in the ties that bound us. Jax was beside me, his presence a constant reminder of the strength in unity. "Lyle, remember what the Shathari said, focus on what's possible." The words resonated within me, a spark igniting a forge of hope. In that moment, the mindscape bloomed with color and light, the darkness retreating in the face of our combined will. As the avatar faltered, I summoned the power of the crystal's revelation, a surge of understanding that pierced through the void's defenses. The knowledge we had gained, the truths we had embraced, coalesced into a singular force, the power to shape our own destiny. With a final cry of defiance, we unleashed Tha. T-power, a torrent of light that shattered the void's grasp, severing its connection to the mindscape. The entity dissolved into nothingness, its shadow dissipating like mist under the morning sun. The landscape began to heal, the scars of entropy replaced by a newfound harmony. As the mindscape faded, we found ourselves back in the chamber, the Shathari's luminescent forms surrounding us in a circle of light. "You have succeeded," they declared, their voices a chorus of gratitude. "The Voidbreaker is no more." I nodded, the weight of the journey settling upon me with a quiet satisfaction. We had faced the shadows within and without, and emerged stronger for it. Jax clapped me on the back, a grin spreading across his face. And here I thought I was just along for the ride. "Nice work, partner." The Shathari's presence began to recede, their forms dissolving into the ambient energy of the station. Your journey continues, seekers. The universe awaits your next chapter. With that, they were gone, leaving us alone in the chamber, the crystal's light once more a beacon of possibility. As we stood together, the echoes of the mindscape resonating within us, I realized that the true power lay not in the battles we fought, but in the connections we forged, a tapestry of life and light, woven from the threads of hope and understanding. And in that moment, as we prepared to embark on the next phase of our journey, I felt the universe open up before us, a vast expanse of mystery and adventure waiting to be explored. Together, we would face whatever lay ahead, driven by the knowledge that we were more than the sum of our parts. We were seekers, explorers of the infinite, bound by destiny and choice. Part 5: The Celestial Codex. The departure from Baldur's Gate felt like leaving behind an old friend. As we guided the Destiny's Child away from the station's shadow, its ancient spires shrinking into the void, I couldn't help but feel a pang of nostalgia mixed with relief. We had faced darkness and emerged with newfound clarity, yet the universe had more stories to tell, and we were destined to be their chroniclers. Jax was at the navigation console, his eyes scanning the endless starfield. "So, Captain," he began with a wry grin, "what's next on our cosmic to-do list? Assuming the galaxy hasn't sent us a handwritten invitation to more trouble." I leaned back in my chair, letting the familiar hum of our ship soothe the lingering tension from our recent ordeal. "We've got one more mystery to solve, Jax. Remember the coordinates the crystal left us with, some kind of galactic waypoint?" Jax frowned, skeptical yet intrigued. "Another breadcrumb on this wild cosmic scavenger hunt. I'm game. What's waiting for us there, more mind-bending revelations or a nice, relaxing beach planet?" I chuckled, pulling up the holographic map. The coordinates blinked invitingly like a beacon in the night. "Only one way to find out. Course set, engines ready. Let's see what the universe has in store." As we engaged the warp drive, space unfolded around us, stars stretching into lines of light as our ship pierced the veil of reality. The journey was both familiar and exhilarating, the thrill of the unknown beckoning us onward. Our destination emerged as a faint glimmer on the horizon, an interstellar library, floating serenely in the void, its architecture an intricate lattice of crystalline towers and luminous bridges. It was the Celestial Codex, a repository of knowledge older than any we had encountered, whispered about in half-forgotten legends and starfarer tales. The Codex loomed large as we docked, its presence a testament to the enduring pursuit of understanding. The airlock opened with a gentle hiss, and we stepped into a vast chamber where light danced across walls lined with shelves of glowing, translucent tablets. "Welcome, seekers of truth," echoed a voice from the depths of the library. It was soft yet powerful, both a greeting and a summons. We moved further inside, our footsteps echoing in the serene expanse. The air was thick with the scent of parchment and history, a sensory tapestry woven with the weight of eons. In the heart of the chamber stood an ancient figure, a keeper, garbed in robes that shimmered with the colors of 1,000 sunsets. Their eyes, impossibly ancient and wise, seemed to peer into the very depths of our souls. "You have journeyed far," they intoned, their voice a symphony of past and present. "What is it you seek within the Codex?" I hesitated, considering the enormity of the question. "We seek understanding," I replied, my voice steady yet humble. "Knowledge to light the path forward, to ensure a future forged from wisdom, not fear." The keeper nodded, gesturing for us to follow. We traversed the aisles of knowledge, rows upon rows of tablets containing the chronicles of the universe, histories of lost civilizations, maps of forgotten realms, and insights into the very fabric of reality. As we walked, the keeper explained, "The Codex is more than a repository. It is a living archive, a reflection of all that has been and all that could be. Here, you may find your answers." Jax leaned over to examine a nearby tablet, his curiosity piqued. "So, this is like the brain of the universe." "An apt analogy," the keeper replied with a smile. "It holds the echoes of creation, the whispers of existence itself." We reached the center of the codex, where a vast table stood, its surface illuminated with the light of 1,000 stars. Here, the keeper gestured for us to place our hands upon it. As we did, the universe unfolded once more before our eyes, a tapestry of interconnected worlds, each thread a life, a possibility, a choice. It was a map not of places, but of potential, endlessly branching and coalescing. In that moment, I understood. The Codex was not just a library, it was a guide, a compass to navigate the infinite expanse of existence, to choose the paths that led to growth and harmony. But then I noticed something amiss. A shadow creeping in from the edges of the vision, an echo of the void breaker's entropy, a reminder that not all paths led to light. The keeper sensed my unease. "The shadow you see is a reminder that knowledge is a double-edged sword. It can illuminate or obscure, create or destroy." Jax nodded, his usual levity tempered by the gravity of the moment. "It's like a cosmic game of chess, isn't it? Every move matters." "Precisely," the keeper confirmed, their gaze unwavering. "Your journey is not merely to seek answers, but to choose wisely. The Codex offers guidance, but it is your choices that will shape the future." With a newfound resolve, I withdrew my hands from the table, the vision fading yet the understanding remaining. We had come seeking clarity, and though the path was still fraught with uncertainty, we had the tools to navigate it. As we prepared to leave, the keeper bestowed upon us a parting gift, a tablet inscribed with symbols of light, a key to unlock the Codex's wisdom whenever the need arose. "May your journey be one of discovery and enlightenment," the keeper intoned, their voice a blessing upon the stars. We returned to the Destiny's Child, the weight of knowledge and possibility guiding our steps. As the ship drifted away from the Codex, I felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that though the universe remained vast and mysterious, we were not alone in our journey. "Here's to the next adventure," Jack said with a grin, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. "To the stars and beyond," I replied, my heart brimming with hope. With a shared sense of purpose, we set course for the horizon, the universe a canvas waiting to be explored, our choices painting the constellations of tomorrow. Together, we would carve our own path through the tapestry of the cosmos, seekers of truth in an ever-expanding sea of possibility. Part 6: The Nexus of Shadows. The Destiny's Child cut through the vastness of space with a renewed sense of purpose, each hum of the engines a comforting lullaby amid the endless night. The tablet from the Celestial Codex lay securely in its cradle, a beacon of luminescent symbols that promised both guidance and enigma. Jax tinkered with the ship's systems, his fingers dancing over the controls with the familiarity of a maestro at his piano. "So," Jax began, his voice breaking the serene silence of our journey, "what's next on this cosmic odyssey of ours? Maybe a nice quiet moon with a view." I chuckled, though my thoughts lingered on the tablet, its secrets still untapped. "There's something about this tablet, Jax. I can't shake the feeling that it's pointing us towards something significant." Jax sat back, crossing his arms in a gesture of mock impatience. "You know your hunches are usually spot on, but sometimes I wonder if we're just chasing cosmic ghosts." Before I could respond, A proximity alarm blared to life, the ship's sensors pinging with an urgent rhythm. The display flickered with the unexpected presence of a massive structure, half hidden in the shadows of a nearby asteroid belt. The structure loomed like a forgotten sentinel, its lines angular and menacing, cloaked in the dust of eons. It was a derelict, an abandoned station or ship once mighty, now surrendered to decay. "Guess our answers might lie there," I said, steering the Destiny's Child toward the derelict. As we approached, the ship's systems synced with a fading signal emanating from its core. Docking was a careful maneuver, the station's docking bay a cavernous maw that seemed to swallow us whole. As we disembarked, a sense of unease crept over me, an echo of the shadow I had seen in the codex. The corridors were dark and labyrinthine, the air filled with the scent of rust and abandonment. Yet there was an unmistakable energy beneath it all, a pulse that resonated with the rhythm of a forgotten heartbeat. "Feels like walking through a haunted house," Jax muttered, his voice low but steady. We pressed onward, guided by the signal that grew stronger with each step. The walls were adorned with faded murals depicting celestial constellations, ghostly reminders of the lives that once thrived here. In the heart of the station, we found the source, a control room, dormant yet brimming with potential. The consoles were alive with faint glows, the symbols on them similar to those on our tablet. There, amidst the shadows, stood a figure, ethereal, barely tangible. It was a hologram, a projection of a being long since departed, its form flickering with the uncertainty of a forgotten memory. "Welcome, wanderers," it spoke, its voice a tapestry of echoes. "You have arrived at the nexus of shadows, the repository of our last hopes." Jax and I exchanged a glance, caught between awe and apprehension. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice filled with the weight of the unspoken. "We were the Aryan," the hologram explained, its visage shifting in hues of blue and green. "Guardians of knowledge, keepers of the light. This station was our bastion against the encroaching dark." I gestured towards the tablet, feeling the pull of connection. "We came here guided by this. What is its purpose?" "It is a key," the Aryan explained, "one of many that unlocks the path to the celestial nexus, a convergence of all knowledge and power. But be warned, for the nexus is both salvation and peril." Jax eyed the console with a mix of curiosity and wariness. "So, it's a treasure map," he mused, leading us straight into the heart of cosmic mystery. The Aryan's hologram flickered, as if struggling against the encroaching void. "You must seek the remaining keys, scattered across the stars, hidden in the hearts of forgotten worlds. Only then can the true potential be realized." The lights dimmed further, and the station groaned as if awakening from a long slumber. The air became charged, and I felt the echo of the void breaker once more, a reminder that darkness lingered, waiting for an unguarded moment. "We've got company," Jax warned, his instincts as sharp as ever. "Whatever's out there knows we're here." With urgency driving us, I worked the console, downloading the station's archives into the tablet. The data streamed in patterns of light, a cascade of coded whispers and hidden truths. The station shuddered violently, the echoes of entropy clawing at the edges of perception. The hologram of the Aryan began to fade, its presence a fleeting ghost. "Go now," it urged, its voice a whisper on the brink of oblivion. "Seek the light, harness the nexus. Your journey relies upon." We sprinted back to the Destiny's Child, the station's corridors collapsing into chaos around us. The derelict groaned like a dying beast, its structures crumbling as we powered up the engines and launched into the void. As the station imploded behind us, I felt a mix of sorrow and determination. We had been entrusted with a mission far greater than ourselves, a quest to unlock the secrets of the universe and to confront the shadow that threatened to swallow it whole. Jack sat beside me, his eyes reflecting the light of distant stars. "So, we're treasure hunters now," he said, a hint of admiration lacing his words. "Something like that," I replied, my heart swelling with the promise of what lay ahead. "And with any luck, we'll find more answers than questions." Together we charted a course for the stars, driven by the map of the celestial nexus and the promise of a future still unwritten. The universe stretched out before us, a boundless ocean of light and shadow, and we sailed forth with the determination to unveil its mysteries, one key at a time. Part 7: The Luminous Web. The passage of time felt different in the vastness of space, each moment stretching out like the infinite reaches of the cosmos around us. The Destiny's Child sailed through star-sprinkled corridors of the galaxy, its hull vibrating with the ancient rhythm of adventure. Our objective was clear: locate the remaining keys to the celestial nexus. The tablet from the Nexus of Shadows was our guide, its symbols flickering with occasional insights, glimpses into the myriad paths before us. I found myself drawn to a cluster of coordinates, each one resonating with a promise of discovery and peril. Jax, ever the pragmatist, watched the navigational data unfold with a blend of skepticism and dry humor. "So, how do we know this isn't just some celestial scavenger hunt?" he quipped, leaning back in his seat with his trademark nonchalance. "Call it a gut feeling," I replied, adjusting our course to the first set of coordinates. "Besides, when's the last time we had a boring day?" The reading led us to a sector of space known as the Luminous Web, a nebula that shimmered with a spectral light, as if woven by a cosmic artisan. It was a place of legend, rumored to be a sanctuary for lost knowledge and possibly madness. As the Destiny's Child entered the nebula, the colors intensified, enveloping us in a kaleidoscope of light and shadow. The ship's sensors were awash with data, the nebula's energy signatures unlike anything we had encountered before. "This place gives new meaning to sensory overload," Jax remarked, eyes wide as the displays glowed with an otherworldly fervor. The nebula twisted around us, its tendrils reaching out like ephemeral fingers. Inside, we found structures floating amidst the cosmic mist, remnants of a civilization that had once dwelled here, their forms both beautiful and haunting. We approached a large crystalline dome, its surface reflecting the nebula's light in dazzling patterns. As we docked, the controls hummed with a strange familiarity, as if welcoming us. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of ozone and mystery. The architecture was ethereal, its hallways lined with translucent columns that pulsated with an inner glow. It was as if the structure itself was alive, its essence intertwined with the nebula's energy. As we ventured deeper, a voice greeted us, resonating through the chambers with a melodic cadence. "Welcome, travelers. You have entered the vault of luminaries, sanctuary of the Starweavers." "Starweavers," Jax echoed, the name rolling off his tongue as if it belonged to a long-forgotten legend. The voice continued, a soft symphony of stars. "We wove the light, crafted the paths that bind the universe. Here our legacy remains, a beacon to those who seek the truth." We reached the heart of the vault, a chamber dominated by a colossal tapestry that depicted the cosmos in its entirety, each thread a line of light connecting worlds and destinies. In its center glowed a key, similar to the one on our tablet, its design a complex lattice of energy and form. I reached out, feeling the connection between our key and the one suspended in the tapestry. Upon contact, the tapestry shimmered, and a wave of knowledge washed over us. a vision of the interconnectedness of all things, the tapestry of existence woven by the Starweaver's hands. Images of the past, present, and future danced before us, a cascade of stories etched in light. We saw civilizations rising and falling, the eternal dance of creation and entropy. And amidst it all, the presence of the Voidbreaker lurked, a shadow seeking to unravel the weave. "We are but threads in a grand design," the voice intoned, its message both cautionary and hopeful. "Guardians of the light that bridges worlds." With a newfound understanding, we took the key, its resonance merging with the one we already possessed. The tapestry altered, its patterns shifting to reveal the next waypoint on our journey, another piece of the puzzle, another path illuminated. As we turned to leave, the vault seemed to pulse with gratitude, the light of the Starweavers guiding us back to our ship. The nebula welcomed us once more, its colors vibrant and alive. Jax and I returned to the Destiny's Child, our spirits lifted by the knowledge that our journey was part of something greater, something profound. As we set a course for the next destination, the nebula's light faded behind us, yet its presence lingered in our hearts. "One step closer," Jax said, his voice filled with both excitement and resolve. "Think the universe is ready for whatever it is we're going to unleash." "Let's hope so," I replied, my gaze fixed on the stars ahead, "because there's no turning back now." With the keys of the celestial nexus guiding us, the universe opened before us like a story waiting to be written. Together, we pressed onward, our path drawn by the light of discovery and the promise of understanding. The cosmos was our canvas, our journey a testament to the unyielding spirit of exploration, and the tales we would weave, a legacy as vibrant as the stars themselves. Part 8: The Resonance of Echoes. The Destiny's Child sailed onward, carving a path through the starlit sea, our course set by the luminous keys guiding us towards the celestial nexus. Each step closer felt like unraveling another thread of the universe's grand design. With Jax by my side, we were more than travelers. We were custodians of possibility, carrying the weight of discovery on our shoulders. Our next destination lay in a region known as the Echoing Void, a place where space itself seemed to ripple with an unseen force. The keys hinted at a hidden sanctuary within, a place whispered about in ancient tales, the Resonance Chamber. The void was unlike anything we'd previously encountered. Space-time itself bent and reverberated, the fabric of reality humming a deep, resonant song. Stars flickered like distant memories, their light distorted by the gravitational ballet. "Feels like the universe is singing," Jax mused, his voice reflecting the awe we both felt. "Let's hope it's a tune we can dance to." As we approached the coordinates given by the keys, a station materialized from the void's depths, the resonance chamber. It was a structure of elegant spirals and lattices, constantly shifting as though alive, its surface reflecting the void's ever-changing hues. Docking was less a maneuver and more a dance, the station's mechanics synchronizing with our ship as if inviting us to partake in its eternal rhythm. We stepped aboard, the air vibrant with a symphony of echoes, each note an ancient whisper. The chamber was a marvel of acoustics and architecture, designed to harness and amplify the natural frequencies of the universe. Sounds merged and separated, creating a symphonic dialogue between existence and time. In the center of the structure stood an apparatus, a complex array of crystalline chimes suspended in a web of golden filaments. It was there that the third key awaited, a nexus of sound and light. "Our path is set," I said, feeling the pull of the key's resonance. "Let's see what the universe has to say." As I approached the apparatus, a figure emerged from the shadows, a sentinel of the chamber, its form incorporeal, woven from strands of luminescent energy. "You are the bearers of the keys," it spoke, its voice harmonious yet echoing with a timeless authority. "To unlock the next path, you must harmonize with the chamber's song." Jax raised an eyebrow, his expression a mix of curiosity and amusement. "Hope you're good at karaoke, Lyle." I smiled, though the challenge felt daunting. Only one way to find out. The sentinel guided us to the apparatus, its filaments vibrating with an inviting frequency. The chamber responded to our presence, a symphony building around us, notes of creation and entropy intertwined. As we engaged with the apparatus, the air around us transformed into a canvas of sound, each vibration a brushstroke painting a new reality. The keys glowed in response, their frequencies aligning with the chamber's song, creating a resonance that vibrated through the very core of our being. It was a dialogue with the universe itself, a communion of light and sound, a dance of possibility. And as the final note hung in the air, the third key unlocked, its light merging with those we already held. The sentinel's voice resonated with approval. "You have harmonized with the chamber's essence. The path to the celestial nexus becomes clearer." The chamber's song shifted, revealing a celestial map within the void, constellations marking the path forward, each star a waypoint leading to the heart of the nexus. But the revelation was not without consequence. The void trembled, a shadow rippling through the fabric of space, a reminder that the void breaker's influence lingered, ever watchful and waiting. Jax tensed, sensing the disturbance. "We've got company again. Seems like entropy doesn't take a day off." Determined, I withdrew from the apparatus, feeling the chamber's song resonate within my soul. "Then let's not linger. We've got a nexus to find." We returned to the Destiny's Child, the void echoing our departure with a final, resonant note. The resonance chamber faded into the background as we charted our course, the stars themselves guiding us onward. As we sailed through the echoing void, the future stretched before us, a tapestry of light and shadow, woven from the choices we would make. Each key brought us closer to the celestial nexus, its power and mystery calling us ever forward. "Next stop, the heart of the universe," Jack said, his voice filled with resolve. "Next stop, our destiny," I echoed, the song of the resonance chamber still alive within me. With the void behind us and the stars ahead, we continued our journey, bound by the promise of discovery and the light of understanding. The cosmos awaited, a story unfolding one note at a time, and we were determined to see it through to its crescendo. Part 9: The Shattered Mirror. The Destiny's Child coasted through the deep, dark sea of stars, leaving the echoing void and its haunting symphony far behind. Our path was illuminated by the resonant energy of the keys we had gathered, each one a step closer to the celestial nexus. 3 keys now whispered from the tablet within the ship, their chorus a beacon calling us onward. The next set of coordinates guided us to a peculiar anomaly, a region known as the Shattered Mirror. Legend described it as a place where reality fractured, where past and future intertwined in a dance of reflections, both deceptive and enlightening. The approach was disorienting. Space seemed to ripple, each ripple casting mirrored images of the stars around us. Time itself felt slippery, the edges of the present blurring into misty veils of what was and what could be. Jax was at the controls, his expression one of focused intensity, tempered with a hint of unease. "Feels like we're about to walk into a cosmic funhouse," he remarked, his voice tinged with dry humor to mask the tension. As the ship entered the region, the universe around us seemed to splinter, each fragment reflecting a different reality. It was as if we had stepped into a kaleidoscope, every twist and turn revealing alternate versions of ourselves and the path we traveled. Stay focused, I advised, my own mind struggling to maintain its grip on the here and now. We need to find the core, the source of these reflections. Navigating through the shattered mirror was a challenge unlike any other. Each reflection tugged at the edges of consciousness, tempting us with glimpses of roads not taken, possibilities unexplored. Yet through it all, a familiar energy called to us, a resonance that matched the keys. In the center of the anomaly, we discovered a peculiar structure, a mirror-like monolith, its surface a shifting tapestry of countless faces and places. It was the heart of the shattered mirror, a sentinel caught between realities. As we approached, the reflections morphed, aligning with our presence. Within the glass, I saw echoes of myself, choices I had made, others I hadn't, paths diverging in a web of potential. It was a confrontation with the self, a reminder of the infinite paths branching from every decision. Jack stepped up beside me, his reflection mirroring the same myriad possibilities. "This is unnerving," he admitted, eyes fixed on the shifting images. "A reminder of the weight of choice," I said, feeling the gravity of each reflection. What we could have been and what we might still become. The monolith reacted to our thoughts, a new key materializing within its depths, its light a beacon of clarity amidst the chaos. I reached out, my hand meeting the cool, smooth surface. Upon contact, the universe rippled and reformed, each reflection resolving into a singular image. The path to the nexus, now clearer, more focused. As the key joined the others, a resonance surged through the shattered mirror, aligning its fractured nature with a newfound harmony. The images stilled, their chaotic dance replaced by a purposeful rhythm. However, the calm was short-lived. The anomaly trembled, a shadow seeping through its polished surface. The Voidbreaker's presence, ever lurking, sought to exploit the chaos, to disrupt the unity we had forged. "We've got to move," Jax urged, his senses as sharp as ever, "before this place decides to shatter for good." With the keys secure, we retraced our path through the mirrored corridors, the ship's engines flaring to life as we escaped the clutches of the shattered mirror. Behind us, the anomaly shimmered, its duality restored, a testament to the power of choice and consequence. Back aboard the Destiny's Child, the weight of what we had seen lingered. I turned to Jax, his presence a reassuring constant. "Another step closer, we're nearly there." Jax nodded, his expression one of determination and camaraderie. "Whatever the Nexus holds, we'll face it together." With the keys in our possession, each one a testament to the trials and discoveries we had faced, we set course for the final destination. The celestial nexus awaited, a convergence of all we had learned and all we had yet to uncover. As we sailed into the unknown, the stars themselves seemed to guide us, their light a herald of the journey's end. The universe loomed vast and mysterious, yet within that mystery lay the promise of understanding, a chance to shape the path forward. Together we ventured onward, seekers of truth in a cosmos ripe with potential. The destiny of the universe hung in the balance, a tapestry of light and shadow awaiting the final threads to be woven, a story waiting for its resolution. Part 10: The Threshold of Infinity. The universe unfurled around us like a vast, uncharted sea, each star a distant lighthouse guiding us toward the final leg of our journey. With the keys resonating in unison, a path through the cosmic tapestry revealed itself, leading us inexorably to the celestial nexus. As the Destiny's Child hurtled through the void, I found myself reflecting on the arc of our travels. Each encounter, each discovery had forged us into something more than we had been, a testament to the power of understanding, and the courage to face the unknown. Jack sat beside me, his focus on the controls as the ship glided through the stellar winds. "Think this nexus is all it's cracked up to be?" he asked, his question echoing the uncertainty we both felt. "Only one way to find out," I replied, my voice steady despite the anticipation coursing through me. "We've come too far to turn back now." Our destination appeared on the horizon, not as a place but as a phenomenon, a celestial vortex swirling with energy and light, the very heart of the universe's potential. The celestial nexus was a beacon of creation, its presence both awe-inspiring and humbling. As we approached, the ship's systems synchronized with the nexus's rhythms, the keys vibrating in harmonious accord. We were on the brink of a transformation, the threshold of infinity within reach. Docking with the Nexus felt like slipping into the embrace of the cosmos itself. We disembarked into a radiant chamber, its walls alive with the pulse of creation. It was a place where time and space converged, where the past and future danced in a symphony of light. In the center of the chamber stood an obelisk of pure energy, its surface inscribed with the language of the cosmos. This was the core of the Nexus, the culmination of our quest. As we approached the obelisk, a figure coalesced from the energy, a being woven from starlight and shadow, its form a blend of all that had come before. The Nexus Guardian. "Welcome, seekers of the light," it intoned, its voice a cascade of galaxies, each word infused with the weight of ages. "You stand at the precipice, the convergence of possibilities." Jax and I exchanged a glance, the gravity of the moment settling upon us like stardust. "We've followed the path set before us," I said, my voice carrying the hope and determination that had fueled our journey. "What lies beyond this point?" The Guardian extended a hand toward the obelisk, its light intensifying as the keys within us resonated with its core. "Here, the fabric of reality awaits your touch. The Nexus holds the potential to weave new realities, to guide the future with the wisdom of the past." As the Guardian spoke, images unfurled around us, visions of worlds yet to be born, civilizations rising and falling, each possibility a thread in the tapestry of existence. Jax marveled at the spectacle, his usual levity giving way to a profound sense of purpose. "It's everything we've seen, everything we could be." "The choice is yours," the Guardian continued, its gaze a mirror reflecting our own desires and fears. "To guide the weave or let it unravel, the power of creation lies within your grasp." The enormity of the decision pressed upon us, the knowledge that our choices here would shape the very fabric of the cosmos. It was a responsibility both terrifying and exhilarating, a reminder of the journey that had brought us to this point. With a steadying breath, I reached for the obelisk, feeling the energy course through me, a conduit for the universe's boundless potential. The Nexus responded, its light entwining with the keys, each one a facet of the greater whole. As the chamber filled with the symphony of creation, I felt a sense of unity with the universe, with Jax, with all that had been and all that would be. It was a moment of clarity, of understanding, a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that lay before us. Together, Jax and I wove our intentions into the tapestry, a dance of light and shadow that echoed the journey we had undertaken. It was a testament to the power of choice, of connection, a celebration of the resilience of the human spirit. As the vision faded, leaving us in the stillness of the chamber, I realized that the true gift of the Nexus was not the power it bestowed, but the understanding it granted. We were architects of our own destiny, bound by the choices we made and the bonds we forged. Jax turned to me, his expression one of camaraderie and resolve. "So, what's next, Captain?" "We carry the light we found," I replied, a smile tugging at my lips, "and see what new adventures the universe has in store." With the Nexus behind us, we return to the Destiny's Child, our hearts light with the promise of the future. We set a course for the stars, leaving a trail of light in our wake, the cosmos a canvas for our continued exploration. Together we ventured into the infinite expanse, seekers of truth, in a universe of endless possibility. The journey was far from over, it was only just beginning, a story waiting to be written amidst the stars.